Welcome back to Off the Line. Today is Wings Day. We're gonna make 3 different kinds of wings. We're gonna make a buffalo, a Korean barbecue, and a Bloody Mary wing. We're gonna pair them with some veggies and sauces. They're gonna be fried and pan finished, and it's gonna be delicious. Stick around. So you can either buy your wings whole or you can buy them cut up. These are whole wings. If you're buying them pre-cut, you want the first and second joint. This would be the first joint, the drumstick, and this would be the second joint, the flat. I'm gonna break these down and then I'm gonna save the tips for a stock. So after you've broken your wings down, or with your raw wings, we're gonna throw them in a quick brine. This is a simple brine of 3/4 of a gallon of water, 3/4 of a cup of salt, and then 3/4 of a cup of sweetener. I used honey granules and some raw sugar. We're gonna let that sit in there for between an hour and 12 hours, and that's really gonna impart some good flavor into the chicken. So for the Korean barbecue wings, we're gonna finish them with some pickled red onions, so we're gonna get the pickling liquid going. A little bit of apple cider vinegar, salt, sugar, a jalapeno, a little bit of garlic. Just bring it up to a boil. We'll toss the onions in and set that aside for later. Go just like a half a jalapeno in there. Go just about a tablespoon of mustard seeds in there too. Also, if you don't want to go through the hassle of all this, you can just basically use apple cider vinegar and pickling spice. I'm gonna put a tablespoon or so of honey granules in there. You could also just use granulated sugar if that's all you have, or honey. Once that pickling liquid comes to a boil, you're good to go. Just take it and pour it right over those onions. So we're gonna whip up a buffalo sauce. The base of the buffalo sauce is gonna be apple cider vinegar, so we're gonna go with about 3/4 of a cup into the pan. Smashed clove of garlic, a whole bunch of cayenne, a little bit of honey, a little bit of salt, and then when that's all brought up to a boil, we're gonna blend it with some melted butter. I'm gonna go with about 3 tablespoons of cayenne here. Cayenne pepper is the base heat for most of the buffalo sauces that you've probably tried. About a teaspoon of salt. And a couple tablespoons of honey. We'll call it 3 tablespoons. Now what we're gonna do, this came to a boil, it's all nicely mixed together. We're gonna toss some butter in there and just kind of let it melt off the heat, and then we'll blend it up. So we're gonna take this base sauce here and blend it up. Got that chunky garlic and stuff in there, so you wanna blend it nice and smooth. And then we're also gonna add a couple tablespoons of the Spiceology Bleu Cheese buffalo seasoning. A little added depth with the blue cheese powder in there. So in this bowl, now that we're ready to fry, we've got 2 parts all-purpose flour, 1 part cornstarch. That cornstarch is gonna make it nice and crispy. Season at every level, so we're gonna put about a tablespoon of salt in here. So wings out of the brine, into the flour mix. So we're gonna make a couple dipping sauces. One we're gonna do ranch, and it's gonna be pretty dang simple. It's gonna be sour cream mixed with Spiceology's new salt-free really ranch. Might add a little bit of vinegar to there just to thin it out. top it off with some thin cut green onions. Make it look pretty. Then we're just gonna make a little horseradish cream sauce for the Bloody Mary wings. So 8 ounces sour cream. About a tablespoon of horseradish powder. You can also use fresh if you like. And then about 2 teaspoons of celery salt. All right, so we're gonna make a sauce for these Korean barbecue wings. We're gonna actually finish them in the pan with the sauce, but we're gonna start with a whole bunch of garlic, about 8 cloves of garlic, a tablespoon or so of fresh ginger, and the bottom half of 1 bunch of green onions. A couple tablespoons of oil in a nice hot pan. We're gonna get this kind of screaming hot before we start adding everything in. So nice hot pan, we're gonna get our ginger, garlic, and scallions in there. Once we've got some good color on there, then we're gonna go with sugar, Korean chili flakes, rice wine vinegar, low sodium soy sauce. I went for the low sodium because this is gonna reduce, so you don't want it to be too salty. And then we're gonna finish it with some Korean barbecue. All right, we got some good color on this garlic here. We're gonna throw in some honey granules. You could also just use sugar, and then this is gonna caramelize, make a really nice base for that sauce. A couple tablespoons. Couple tablespoons of Korean chili flake. This is where you're gonna get your heat from, so go more or less depending on how much heat you want. You could also use like sriracha or chili paste or something if you don't have Korean chili flakes. Now we're gonna hit it with the rice wine vinegar, about a 1/4 cup. We're gonna let that cook off for a second, and then we're gonna add our soy sauce. A couple ounces there also. And about 2 tablespoons of Korean barbecue. We're gonna take 5 each of our wings and drumsticks, put them in the sauce to finish. Ooh-wee. We're gonna plate these Korean barbecue wings up here. Don't leave any of that tasty sauce behind. We're gonna garnish it with some toasted sesame seeds, cilantro, and some of those pickled onions. All right, so we've got the rest of our wings out in a bowl here. For the Bloody Mary, we're simply gonna toss it with quite a bit of this spicy Bloody Mary seasoning. It's gonna soak it right up, so don't be afraid to go a little heavy. Serve that with the horseradish cream and of course some celery to finish your Bloody Mary. Now for our classic buffalo, we've got our wings here. Pour that sauce over. I realize right now that these match the plate awfully well. Finish it with some green onions. Carrots. Ranch. All right, wings are done. Now it's time to eat. That's buffalo. Surprisingly, that blue cheese from the blend actually comes through quite a bit. I'm a flats guy. Bloody Mary. Smoky, salty. Oh, that's really good. And Korean barbecue. I'm sweating from those first two already. Woo. Jack, you gotta try these. Nice. Thanks for stopping by again. This is Off the Line, Wings Day. Check out the recipes.